What's going on, world? It's your boy Kuya and my pals, Sean Mongold, Webster Style. We are the NRW's Trios Champions. It's the KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. Man, so many things going on in wrestling. When we left off last week, we gave y'all our picks for NXT Heatwave as well as Money in the Bank 2024. And there's been some collision. There's been some damage, dynamite, and some rampage as well since then. And some TNA. They're back to that. Yeah. Did it make the impact though? But it's TNA now. Anyway, all the wrestling, and some New Japan shit. I don't know if we even have that news, but we're talking wrestling, y'all. Let's get into it, man. AEW. Our Mercedes Monet, who I'm still feeling salty when they came to our area and she didn't show up, but she is 2 title belts holder. We had the Forbidden Door that we talked about last week because we gave 2 episodes last week.
Right, two.
But we've had some dynamite, we've had some rampage, and we've had some collision since then. How y'all feeling about AEW right now? I think I tuned into my DVR to watch, I don't know if it was Collision or Rampage from last week, or it could have been Dynamite. I don't know, but I don't know. It's just I'm not feeling. I've been feeling kind of weird since Forbidden Door, and from the event too that we went to. It's just a different vibe because I don't know, because WWE is firing on all cylinders, or just
it's hard.
It's difficult with AEW. They're not building up Swerve right, although he did beat Page, or not Page. He did beat Ospreay. But just some of the weird stuff is going on. MJF, I remember seeing MJF giving a promo. So I don't know if that was Dynamite or Rampage.
So Dynamite was the big MJF turn.
Okay.
Last week, where Danny Garcia was fighting Will Ospreay. Great match. MJF did and that's what I know. Like even at Forbidden Door, they're playing a lot into the person on the outside trying to give an item or an up for a person, and then they're kind of face like, so they're like, no, I don't need that, and then they get rolled up because or just beat, because that happened with Will Ospreay and fucking Hot Dog Man, Don Callis, there it is, trying to give him the screwdriver at Forbidden Door, and then that's what kind of fucked him up, and that's how he lost, and then Swerve took advantage of it. Chris Statlander and Willow had a match, the same Dynamite, and Stokely tried to give a chain to Chris Statlander and got rolled up by Willow Nightingale. And then in the same fucking episode of Dynamite, MJF tries to give the fucking diamond ring to Danny Garcia to punch the shit out of Will Ospreay, and he takes a couple of seconds, 30 seconds. He's like, no, I'm going to hands it. And MJF's like, okay. And then he gets fucking hit with a fucking hidden blade and fucking loses. But MJF, heel MJF is the best. I feel like we only get this very sadistic MJF every so often, because usually he's very kind of quirky, goofy, really hamming it up as a heel to the crowd, the scumbag, I'm your scumbag thing. Like this malicious MJF is rare, in my opinion. Like when he first turned heel against Cody and kicked him in the nuts, like way back when, 2019, when he first made his big turn, he was a little sadistic in the beginning. And then, then he teamed up with Jericho and he did like the fucking show tunes thing, very gimmicky, heel like. So we only get this every so often. So I really liked it because, he took the ring out, he punched the shit out of Danny Garcia, he kicked him in the balls, he gave him a hug, he was like acting like, no, this wasn't your fault, it's my fault, we're gonna get it, raises his hand, gives him a hug, kicks him in the dick, and then fucking beats the shit out of him, and then keeps beating the shit out of him, and then Will Ospreay comes out, and then he fucking dips, and he goes through the crowd and he's like spitting on the crowd, spitting snot, at the crowd, like throwing trash on the crowds, smacking a dude's camera out of his hand, like phone out of his hand, like gets like fucking forehead to forehead with another fan. And like, that's when it like cut out. And I was like, bro, like this man is unhinged.
He's on when he's more of a heel.
Unhinged. Like you don't see that, you know what I mean? Like you don't see that level of heat anywhere. You know what I mean? And like for legal purposes, you shouldn't be doing that, MJF. But it's crazy that it happens. It's crazy to watch, right? So that is definitely enticing. Since we had like 2 WWE pay-per-views, it kind of like slipped my mind a little bit. But yeah, I remember that last night. That was great. We got the first Britt and Mercedes promo, which was great. There's a lot of callbacks to old like Sasha Banks promos. Get in the back of the line, bitch. What line? You know what I mean? Like, it's very callback to what Sasha has done before, and Britt's kind of mimicking that and showing like, hey, I've studied you. I know all about you. I know your promos. I know your wrestling. I know all of this. So I can't wait. Like, this is going to be a great build-up. It's going to be a slow burn. Like, I don't think they're wrestling tonight at all, which they shouldn't. You should leave that for a pay-per-view. Stop giving us all these pay-per-view matches on through the week. I think they're being a little bit more selective finally with that, thankfully. And I think that's what was hurting them. Like, just reading a lot of people's responses, just like, like your pay-per-views are great, but you're doing like these dream matches throughout every week, and it just makes it kind of like, where's the story? But B, like, okay, if I'm just getting a dream match every week, I'm just going to wait for the pay-per-view for the ultimate dream match. You know what I mean? Like the ultimate story and the recap. So it's just like they need to find their niche, and I think they're getting a little better at it. But like also Adam Page came back. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was a big thing. Has a new tune. I kind of want it, like, it's not like this uppity kind of theme. It's a little bit undertony, like less high notes and everything. And it was just such a small change. I was just like, man, I wanted like a complete wardrobe change. Like I wanted this man to be like just like crazy, sadistic, cool looking, and instead we still got the tassels and everything. It's like the same gimmick.
His hair is like different. He got some facial hair.
Yeah, he kind of goes in between that every once in a while, right? And the one thing that did shock me, I was like, oh, of course, he's gonna beat Jeff Jarrett and go on to beat fucking Jay White at Collision this past week, and now he's fighting Daniel Bryanson tonight. And I was just like, oh, of course, like the Young Bucks are going to be like, oh yeah, we brought you back, and now he's going to be part of the Young Bucks. I was really mad, and they did a backstage promo with like, hey buddy, and he like yokes them up and was like, I'm not your puppet, like I'm not an elite. I told y'all to get the fuck. And I really liked that. I was like, okay, I'm glad. Like, they duped me. I thought they were going for the easy hanging fruit of Hangman going with them. They went the opposite route. I was like, dope. I'm back in it. I do wish that was an in-ring promo. Like, I really wish after he won, I wish like the Young Bucks would have hit their music, and I wish they would have walked out to the ring and been like, our boy, and then really had enough space to like really get yoked up and like thrown like into the turnbuckle or something like that. And like, just to have the crowd reaction too, I think would have been better, and instead of having a backstage promo. But that's getting really picky, right? But yeah, that was great. I didn't watch Collision. I just know that Paige beat Jay White. But yeah, I'm curious about tonight. We're going to hear from Mercedes again, and then we have the Danielson and Paige match, and I think that's the finals. I think for the Owen Hart Cup.
Well, we also have the women's Mariah May and Willow.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And I'm very curious about that. I think, Willow won it last year. I'd like to see Mariah May start developing her outside of Tony. Really, again, Willow's already there. So, and we love her, but I think Mariah May has some quality with just because of the heat she's got with the glow from working with Tony, and then the Mina Shirakawa, just all of that. So I think I'd like to see Mariah take it.
I really want them to sign Mina.
Oh, and that they got to. But other than that, man, just a lot of the stuff isn't popping for me personally. And when you brought up wardrobe real quick, I wanted to ask you, because I know y'all feel some kind of way about the cat. Do you see how the scapegoat is rocking a goat mask and having that all come in, and the new music, all of that? What do you think about the scapegoat, bro?
Fucking
I'm not even paying attention. I will go back real quick, though. The whole Willow thing, so I want to say, I hope that I think Mariah's going to win, but I hope that they use this to further the storyline with her and Statlander, because I felt like having them meet in the semifinals, quarterfinals, and if that's the end of their feud, that just really falls flat.
Oh, with Stat and Willow, yeah,
Willow and Statlander, that's just
Stat or Stokely have to interfere and let Mariah win. Like it's got to continue, right?
Have some shenanigans,
But also at the same time, they have to figure out a way to end it too, because it's been going on for a minute.
But that's not the way to end it. I think we all can agree on that one.
No, absolutely not. But like, it also makes me question, like, do they have an ending, or are they just flying by the seat of their pants? Because
probably latter of the two.
Flying by the line of the white powder. Let's go. Yeah, guys. He's the wrong Tony, Oh man. No. But yeah, Mina, I love Mina. I hope they sign her. There's rumors about Stephanie Vaquer coming over to AEW. I saw some footage of them like partying after Forbidden Door, and it was like Mercedes,
Monet,
TK, and a bunch of other people, and Stephanie was there, and they were like all partying and drinking together and everything like that. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then there was like rumors that just circulated today of Stephanie asking to get out of her contract with CMLL and New Japan. And of course, since she did that, and since they're teamed up with AEW, people are like, well, she technically, if she wanted to go to AEW, didn't have to do that. So a lot of people are speculating that she's possibly going to NXT. And apparently she was saw at Heatwave backstage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Julia is
she's cleared now. Yeah. So a lot of shit's about to pop off in NXT. Jesus Christ. Whew. But it's going to be crazy. AEW, they're building towards All In. I'm curious to see, like, just looking at this card for tonight, it's significantly less matches. So I feel like they're finally starting to want to focus more on promos and storylines and like backstage segments and things like that. So we'll see if that continues, because I think that's what they need.
I agree with you. And this is one thing I noticed that as well when I saw the Instagram card for it. And one of the things I said when we talked about Forbidden Door was, I hope they're able to build off of momentum for Forbidden Door. Yeah. And even though I'm not totally into it, I do get that impression that they are starting to build. I'm just hoping they continue and don't just screw up like they've done so many times before, when it seemed like something really started to get started and then it just falls flat because of just piss poor planning, pretty much.
I really want the Acclaim to break up. I'm getting I love them, but the same
kind of gotten stale.
Yeah. And now like the Elite just fought them with Tanahashi at Forbidden Door, and now they're going to be at Blood and Guts, Elite versus, I forgot who it was. They were fucking with somebody, Mark Briscoe and them, I think. And all of a sudden the Acclaim came out to save Conglomerate. The Conglomerate, or whatever the fuck it's called. What was it?
Is Busta Rhymes getting some coins from this? Please let me know.
I don't know, but it's like the Conglomerate and Acclaimed versus the Elite, and I'm just like, at War Game, or not War Games, Blood and Guts. I'm just like, we literally just saw that. Like, I seriously, I want Anthony Bowens to break away. Max, turn him heel, let him be heel, let Anthony Bowens be a babyface, and let him have a singles run, and I think that would be great.
You know, it's something interesting that you said that, and this is one of the things that we complained about the E a lot, was that back before they got rid of what's his name, we kept seeing the same matches over and over again. They kept running things back over and over again. And we are seeing that a lot in certain sects with AEW.
Who were you referencing in the E? Was it Top Dollar or Swerve?
No, I'm talking about Vince and how he used to just have matches, like people going against each other over and over again. We kept seeing the same matches or various and the same matches.
Like when Cody first came back and it was him versus Seth for like 70 fucking matches. I was like, God damn.
They did it so much back then. And that was something we talked about often. It's like, we see the same matches again. How many times can we see this? And AEW has fallen into the same trap, especially surrounding the Elite Vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on AEW.
Yeah.
Waiting to see what happens, what the build up to Blood and Guts is, and then obviously leading into All In, which is, their big show. And I'll give it to them. Their pay-per-views are dope. I love their pay-per-views.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely I will always pay for their pay-per-view, and I'll always watch it. Because they are entertaining. At the end of the day. Might not make the most sense, but at least the matches are fucking great.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see.
All right, so let's get away from AEW. Well, before we head over to NXT, WWE, any TNA, Impact, New Japan, from you guys?
No, only
you're a TNA guy.
I was there with the taping, so I'm like, I think by this time all 6 men for the title have been announced, but their pay-per-view is not until next week, so we can do like a show on that then. But I mean, there's more TNA stuff when we get to NXT. So
I was like, let's make that as the segue. Yeah. Speaking of TNA,
we
have the Heatwave. We'll start with the Heatwave, and then we'll go into Money in the Bank.
Great show.
But we had a Heatwave. We'll get into Heatwave, but post Heatwave, we just had an NXT episode with Joe Hendry.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
Say his name.
But first off, before we got to that, at the very end of Heatwave, did you see? You watched the event, right?
Yeah.
You guys were watching it too, right?
Yeah.
But at the very end, we saw it was like, Hendry. What the hell?
Yeah, that was random, but I loved it.
And then that was a cue to what we just got on this NXT Heatwave. Well, the post episode after Heatwave. But
so do we want to break down Heatwave first?
Let's do Heatwave, and then we'll go into how he showed up and everything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, favorite match of the night. Let's get into the results. Let me throw it to you, Webster style.
That's tough, man. There were a lot of good matches. I like the North American title match.
Oba.
Yeah.
And Wesley.
I like that. I was expecting somebody to interfere, and they didn't.
Yeah, man.
So it was clean.
It was clean. It was very
clean, man.
That was a choice.
The 4-man match just sticks out probably more so because of the ending, more so than anything.
Yeah.
That ending was shocking. Nobody thought that was coming. And the fact that it hasn't even been 2 months.
Yep.
And
this man got a title.
Not just a title.
They have the main title.
The main title, but they have done better with Ethan Page and this whole run of AEW in less than 2 months, which is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. And what do you guys think of this? So I think we were all shocked, but I think it works, and I don't think it hurts Wes. It made you helped Ethan out because you just brought him in here. He didn't obviously win. Trick won the fucking thing, but,
right?
He got pulled out.
I was taking a pin. I knew that look when he got inserted. He's taking a pin.
Yeah, I think it just gives us something storyline wise and just keeps it stuff.
It does.
Yeah, gives it a little fresh. And Wes, not Wes, but fucking Trick needed a little bit of that because we have been getting slightly bored with some of the wins post winning. Right. Sean, how you feel, man? I see you going like this.
It was a great card, man. It was really hard to call. Like I have comments about everything. I really like Kalani and Sol Ruka.
That was great.
That was such a good match.
It was good. Both of them, deserving.
Yeah, that Poison Rana at the end, and like people make the comments about, oh, there was a real wrestler. Like even like Dave Meltzer and some of the motherfuckers are just like, oh, it's just his end. But motherfucking Ricochet and Will Ospreay do the same goddamn shit, and you're like, oh my god. 5.5 stars.
Exactly.
And it's just like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like these girls are 20, young 20s, 23, 24.
Less than 3 years in wrestling.
Yeah, and they're doing this. And like, and no offense, and like they're like, oh, it's just like, like team gymnastics. That's what fucking wrestling is.
It is.
It's choreographed moves to make everyone excited and high flying and looks like it's like painful, but it's controlled. It's still painful. I'm not going to say it's not painful. But that's literally what it is. You literally just described wrestling and what it is. So the fuck are you complaining about? Anyway, I digress. I love that match. The Lola Vice match scared me. Like, bro, I was about to be like, I was about to text you. I'm like, I told you. There was a couple moments where
close.
I was like, were they about to get
I was a little bit surprised about that. I was
scared too. I love the ending though. I really, I think that was a good defense for Roxanne Perez compared to, unfortunately, what we saw with arguably better competitor with Jordynne Grace.
Yes.
I think that did a lot more in skill, but it did a lot more to further her character as well.
Yeah. And I mean, motherfucking Lola kicked out of a bunch of pop rock power bombs, even through a table or on the table, not through it because it didn't break. But like, it's just, it made her look strong. And yet again, like, this also goes back to my original point of like, if you keep having everyone kick out of your finisher, it's going to make you look bad. And in this case, I think Roxanne kind of needs that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she's also a smaller person. So it's just like, like she has to do massive damage. She has to be very creative with her finisher to be effective because of her size disadvantage, because she's a smaller person. Right. So I do like that they kind of play into that. And Lola's obviously a little bit bigger, a lot more stronger. MMA, could withstand, punches from fucking Shayna Baszler and the fucking underground fight. So I understand that from the story perspective, right? But yeah, that was just an overall match. But yeah, that 4-way match was probably my favorite. It started off a little slow.
I agree.
With Javion and Trick kind of like getting adjusted to each other a little bit because I kept seeing them slow down so that he can get bouncy. But after a while, like it seemed like once they were like exhausted, that's when everything was clicking.
Yeah.
Like everything was just like boom, boom, boom. All the spots were hitting, everything was going. Like that shit was so great. I did not see that ending coming, and I laughed my.
No one did,
off.
yo.
Would
you say that was the match of the night?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
Absolutely. And this really, like, I made my comments about Ethan Page during the last title defense, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. This definitely turned me around. This was a better showcase for him, and also just his in-ring character work as well. Like he is the overtop heel that I don't think you really have in NXT. You have your heels, like promo wise, but like the in-ring heel work is what a lot of the heels in NXT miss, in my opinion, because of course, they're new, they're learning, and they're focused on their spots and their moves and things like that. But like you miss a certain aspect of your character by not doing those small little things like what Ethan was doing throughout that match, And I really wish it was him that like pulled Trick out of the way and then like took the pin. But it's also just kind of funny that he got knocked out into pinning Javion while Sean grabbed that Trick out.
Yeah. So you didn't win it because you're the man. Trick was the man out of all of those guys.
Right. You were in the right place at the right time. And then Sean was also helped you. So like you would not be champion without Sean Spears. Period.
Basically.
Yeah.
So that was great too. Like Sean just added a little bit of an extra level of the heel mentality, and I think he's just there for that, right? Like I think he's as a supporting heel character. I don't think he ever wants to be champion or anything like that. Because he's kind of made it clear like he just wants to kind of be, wrestle for the last couple of years and then be in a producer role. So I think he's just there to supplement, baby faces and like give them that feud that they're looking for.
Exactly. So before we head over to NXT, I'm curious if y'all agree. I think the wouldn't say the worst match, but the match that really we could have cared less, at least for me, Nathan Frazier, Axiom, our current tag team champions.
I'm surprised they won, man.
Chase U. Really? Like Chase U, I think much better, deserves it. Storyline wise, they can do so much. And the fact that they were also building throughout the night. Oh, Nathan Frazier just showed up. Axiom was going to plan to go differently or do something. You know what I'm saying? They're doing something there. So it's kind of like you expected them to not win. And then the fact that they won, like, really? Okay. But it was just, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of bored with them. So yeah, I think to me, that was like the worst match of the night.
Yeah.
But as we head over to NXT with, and also the Joe Hendry thing at the end of Heatwave. But again, with Wesley, I know I missed this episode post Heatwave. I'm curious because Wesley apparently made some comments. What are you going to do with this guy now? So y'all caught the NXT episode. What did Wesley say now? Because I think we all agreed Oba shouldn't lose. It would have been shenanigans. Right. He shouldn't have beaten Oba. But then what are you doing with Wesley now? And,
well, you got that answer.
So what did Wes say about himself and everything? What did I miss on NXT?
The Rascals came.
Yeah.
Who are the what?
His team with Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. Is Zachary Wentz in? I forget what it is. From TNA, his partner from MSK that was in NXT with him, they showed up.
Yeah. So there's a TNA crossover.
Right. So now they're going to feud with Gallus.
Oh.
They stopped him from doing something stupid. So yeah, I was excited about that. I was like, oh shoot. I was happy about that. I was like, oh, we're gonna get the Rascals and Zachary Wentz getting a little bit of redemption for how they canned him with that whole crap that happened.
So yeah. What else going on NXT? Well, again, I missed the episodes. Y'all gonna have to help me out here.
Oh,
with Wes's vibes, the Joe Hendry, thing again. Yeah, all of that because I didn't see
what
it.
What happened with that was it was supposed to be, as you can imagine, everybody came out on the mic from the championship. So Ethan Page and what's his name? God, why is it anyway? 10 versus Trick and Javon, but Javon ended up getting taken out by the dude that Bull Buchanan's son, because he said, "I'm coming back. I'm gonna set you up to make an impact." So he took out Javon. So Trick had to find a partner. Trick said his name and he appeared, and Joe Hendry got the win.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they're really solidifying this. And so that's just beautiful.
Yeah.
This TNA NXT, collaboration, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking. And so many people are mad about the Joe Hendry thing. And I'm just like, man,
it's entertainment, man.
Fuck off.
Look, it's great. And TNA needs to capitalize by having him win that six-man title battle next week.
Yeah.
Like they really do, because that's the smart thing. And again, much like we saw this past week, they can have somebody else take the pin and not have Moose get pinned.
Yeah.
And everybody's still strong.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's going on again, because I missed it, the women's side. Any follow-up from, Lola not getting it, Roxanne, did we get anything on the women's?
I don't even remember.
Not really.
Okay.
Roxanne had a squash match against someone. It just sucked. And then I think Sol Rucka had a match.
Yeah, she had a match, and there's like a new faction with Fallon Henry, JC Jane, and somebody else now.
Okay. All right. Well, let's head over to WWE Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Let's start it off with the men's Money in the Bank match. We knew it was going to happen.
We knew.
Drew won it.
We knew.
What are your thoughts on just the match itself as we go through that card and just our vibes and feelings of what went down there? We knew it was going to be Drew.
We knew it was going to be Drew.
Well, with that being said, because we obviously know the final result. We're going to get there, but are we happy with that?
I'm fine with it.
Like they wasted, we think, because like all the other people like online, they wasted the Money in the Bank this year. It could have given Shine to LA Knight, could have given Shine to Jay.
He's already doing a feud.
Oh yeah, well, we know that, but but just to have it a little bit longer outside of the feud for them.
All of these other people, it didn't make sense. Like it didn't make sense to further anyone else's story. This
I would
makes
argue
sense,
it still didn't make Drew didn't need to have the belt to still the money in the bank to still kind of have things happen with CM Punk.
No, but this adds another layer to it, right? Like
The
and
Seth.
like there was yeah, exactly, and that was the layer I didn't picture when we were talking about our predictions. Was we thought either Seth was going to win it, and then the same thing was going to happen. Drew comes down, beats Seth, or tries to beat Seth, and fails, or vice versa. Damian wins, just like when he came and cashed in on WrestleMania, and then and now Drew's going to try to return the favor. Like, oh, you cashed in on me WrestleMania, I'm going to cash in on you, Damian Priest. We didn't anticipate him cashing in and making it a triple threat match. So by proxy, CM Punk interfering also screwed over Seth Rollins.
Because he can't compete for the belt while he has it, was one of the ramifications, right?
Yep. And they had a really good promo on Raw. So it looks like they're going to have a little spat because Drew is suspended, because Drew, punched Adam Pearce or elbowed him or some shit. So I like the dynamic. I like that they're having that. I knew it was inevitable to have Seth versus CM Punk.
Yeah, that was gonna happen.
The promo work is just great. But yeah, I mean, some of the cool highlights in the match though. Drew threw a ladder like a fucking javelin. That shit, Maki screamed and scared the shit out of our cat when he did that. I was like, oh fuck. Like, what the fuck? Like, my man just said, whoo. Like, I forgot who was on the ladder. I think it was Chad or Jay. And Drew just took another ladder and just chucked it at him up in the air. I was like, holy fuck. Like, this is getting reckless.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was a bunch of good spots, a bunch of cool spots. The Chad Gable hanging from the fucking
dude
clip and then falling. I was like,
that somebody's gonna kill themselves. That was a little out there, bro.
That was,
I gotta say, that was reckless, bro.
But what I really, and my one critique is that I wish that when Chad was going up to get the briefcase, I wish the lights would have gone and did the fucking Wyatt 6 thing and scare Chad to where he fumbles and then he grabs onto the briefcase and then kicks the ladder from under himself. Like, not have them actually show up, but like do the noise, do the lights flicker, really scare them. I mean, they had Jay kind of go up and cause all that to happen. But I was like, man, it's like they really, since Wyatt 6 has been showing up everywhere Chad is, it would have made sense to do it there.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been the perfect thing. Like, they didn't have to be there. You literally just had to do the sound and the fucking lights and voila, But yeah, I mean, everyone else looked good. I mean, I feel bad for Andrade. Like
he came off the least shine on him, where he was just kind of there.
Yeah. He's just unfortunately falling to this like mid card hell. And
really Mello, and with Mello too,
Yeah, Mello just kind of fell to this mid card bullshit.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do with these guys? It felt like they were just there. But I think the Gable thing was reckless.
People are saying Mello might go and kind of do the whole Street Profit thing, the Pride group, like feud a little bit with Bobby, and then end up joining them, because they're just looking for factions now. I mean, you got the Final Testament, you got fucking Wyatt 6, you got the Creed brothers now about to bring in Chad Gable probably. So it's there's possibility.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because I feel like Andrade probably could have gone to LWO, and I think they were starting it, and then they just like yoinked that away, and now there's just no direction with him. He's mid card hell.
And there's no direction really with LWO either. It's kind of
because they've been tying into Judgment Day again. They've been getting back because it's been, this past
But it's
Raw.
been a week. It's been a week version since the OGs, man.
It definitely has. But I mean, you could definitely play it in a way, to have Andrade either a part of that or like Los Gatos, but make up your mind on what you want to do with them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not really doing too much with them, and but
exactly.
They really need to. Andrade is one of the people they really need to take advantage of, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it.
No, by any means, they're not. And so it just kind of sucks, Like if you want to give him a manager, give him a manager.
Yeah.
Give him Zelina back. Maybe that's what he does. Maybe he goes to the LWO only to get Zelina back, and then both of them screw over Ray, and that's how LWO disbands. I don't know, but there is something there. Like, you can do something, you just have to do it. But they're dragging out this Dominic thing, which we'll talk about shortly because I have an idea of what's going to happen.
We'll get to Raw and all that. Yeah. Obviously.
That's my thoughts on the men's.
The men's. You have any thoughts on the men's match? The men's Money in the Bank.
I echo a lot of what Sean said. Honestly, I think that I have no issues with who won and what they did with it. Honestly, I was satisfied with who was in it. I thought it was a good opportunity to put some shine on a Carmelo Hayes, on an Andrade, on a Chad, without having them actually in the main event title picture, which is, I think, good. The question is now what happens to them, because Carmelo really doesn't have a storyline at all.
They were filler in a way, but
and I'm fine with that for that match. It's still a high profile match.
True.
And that's a lot of other people could have been in a spot, but they were in it.
Correct. You're right. All right, let's head over to a surprise. I think I was slightly surprised with this. WWE Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn.
People are so mad.
Sean, how are you feeling?
People are so mad, and I don't care. Like, why would you give this man not even a month of debuting on the main roster the fucking Intercontinental Championship? You know how many greats and Hall of Famers have fucking had that title, and you want to give it to this guy who just came up a month ago?
Yeah.
It hasn't really even had a true match. He's just had squash matches and backstage promo segments where he just spears people, like fucking Goldberg. Got the same fucking stupid ass tribal tattoo as Goldberg. Like, do you want it to be another Goldberg? No. You need to show, obviously show that he's strong. He's strong, but you need to show that there is a way to overcome him. And who better to do it than your Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn, who also overcame Gunther? So if you would let Brock beat Sami, you're inevitably saying that Brock can also beat Gunther. The man who had the fucking title for 666 days, which I really enjoy that number, 666, which I find hilarious. But yeah, I didn't say it was a great match. I loved it. Like that, the unitard, like the singlet he had on looked cool as hell. Like Maki loved it. She was just like, wow, like that's how you wear a singlet. Like that thing, like it looks cool. It has a cool design. It looks nice. It fits well, and it was a great match. And I think it made both of them look strong. And of course, it has the realm, like we know in Raw, it has the realm of continuing. Because Brock can just like get even madder and madder. And maybe there's going to be some kind of stipulation match, down the line. And maybe that's when Braun gets his fucking turn.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I definitely think the right man won. Come on now. For all the reasons you said. Sure. But yeah. It is too soon. But this will strengthen him. And then I think it'll help the crowd, get behind him a little bit more. Then pull that anger and frustration into really getting your ring work together, and you'll develop that. And Sami Zayn, come on now, we know and love Sami Zayn. Any thoughts, Webster Style, on that match?
No, the right person won.
Yeah, okay.
I guess to some degree, I don't understand why they did all that with Braun Breaker for him to lose, even though he should have lost. But it still makes sense, just like Sean said.
All right, let's head over to that Damian Priest, Seth Rollins triple threat with Drew. The cash in.
About the women first, or
Punk. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just going down the line on IMDb.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. We were just waiting for it. People were really mad at Damian Priest because he botched the pin at the very end. He didn't kick out.
But was it him or the ref?
No, it was him.
Okay.
Yeah. I purposely ignored that conversation. I was like, I really don't care.
That was just awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone asked about it in the press conference at Triple H too, and said that, like, hey, he had an amazing match. Like, people make small mistakes. It happens. Shit happens. But some people have said that he thought maybe there was talk about possibly Drew's music interrupting the count, and that's where Damian's head went, thinking that the music was going to interrupt the ref, so he didn't kick out because of that. Who knows? But the ref knew what he was doing, so people are mad, but it suspended the disbelief a little bit, so, but whatever, shit happens. They're tired, they're exhausted, they're under bright lights, it's hot as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, just give these guys some slack. It was a great moment. It was great to see CM Punk come out. The Drew shit coming out, like, bro, that shit.
But was it too predictable?
No.
And I felt like we all knew this was gonna happen, and it happened. But it took away a little bit of the shine to a degree.
Yeah,
and
it definitely.
And that's why when people say the Money in the Bank got wasted away, I can kind of see that vibe too.
How it was wasted by putting it on Austin Theory for so long, only to have him fucking lose his cash in, only for him to win the title, that same title, like a month later. Like it's all part of a story.
I agree with you, Sean. And that's why I don't think it was wasted. It's a part of the story. We also now don't have a year or whenever of somebody holding the Money in the Bank title
that got
possibly threatening.
Yeah.
I think that's refreshing as well, because that's something we haven't had in a while.
Right. And maybe people are mad because they don't get that and they like that. I don't know. But like I think it's very poetic because before CM Punk was back, they never mentioned the statistic, but CM Punk's the only person to be a back-to-back Money in the Bank winner.
Well, there's a reason they never mentioned it, so he came back.
Well, yes, exactly. There was a reason why they never mentioned it until he came back. It's nice to know, like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like Drew had this mentality of, I'm going to cash it. Like, you guys cashed in on me, Damian. I'm going to cash in on you guys. But Drew, like, CM Punk was there at every turn.
Right.
And it's just like, he's also a master manipulator. He's been Money in the Bank winner 2 times in a row. The only person to ever do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's just like a nuance, like a fun little sense of history. Like, all these people were so closely tied to this Money in the Bank contract. And I just thought that there was so much history behind each and every one of them. Because now all of them have been Money in the Bank winners. Because Seth Rollins, that's how he got his first title. He cashed in at WrestleMania. He did the same shit Damian Priest did. They're the same people. They waited a full year, damn near, fucking cashed in at WrestleMania, won their first World Championship singles title. So it was just like, it was nice to have them fight over that title because they had that. And then for Drew to cash in was even more poetic. And for CM Punk to be there and fuck over Drew, I'm about it. I love it. Like, this is just like like, you know what I mean? And like, it's easy to do something like that and then let it squander. So like what we were just talking about earlier is like, now you have the dynamic of Seth being pissed at CM Punk for sticking his nose in his business because he can't challenge for the fucking, world heavyweight championship because he lost, and he lost because CM Punk.
Gonna be interesting.
Now it just starts another storyline.
They just putting more and more into this story, and when it comes to a head, it's gonna be glorious.
Yes. Yes.
Layers, y'all. Layers.
Layers.
All right, let's head over to the women's Money in the Bank. Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io, Lyra, Naomi, Zoe Stark. And that finish, all I know is that one fall that Io had with her, where she came down and her legs on that ladder.
Yeah. Oof, that was rough.
That hurt my crotch, bro. That hurt my crotch.
That looked rough.
That looked painful. More so than Chelsea's long fall, which,
that was crazy.
That was crazy. But apparently she did it before.
Naomi did the fucking splits on the fucking ladder
that was wild.
As it was falling, and then like threw it into a DDT, dog. I was just like, bro.
That was insane.
That was crazy. I was like, this is great. I know y'all's girls, Tiffy.
How you feel about the whole time I was like, how Sean feel about it? I know you're gonna talk some shit. Come on now. Like, it made sense, bro.
No,
I'm surprised it was Tiffy, though. I am surprised.
It does not.
I honestly thought it would probably have been better to have been Chelsea Green.
Yes. Absolutely. It does not make sense to be on Tiffy. God damn.
I agree with Sean. Totally.
We just said this about Braun. It's too quick to put things on these people, and here you are putting this shit on fucking Tiffy.
She's a superstar in the making, though. Like, she's got stuff there.
No, she does not. I will give it to her. Her ring gear.
We need to build up somebody to go against Bailey, bro. And I think she's great. I think that'll be great.
Gear was very cute. Maki definitely had some good comments to say. It was very Mardi Gras style, which was so interesting why it was Mardi Gras style.
Poison Ivy ish.
Was it supposed to be Poison Ivy?
A little bit. I don't think so, but
it looked very Mardi
Gras.
It's
got the vibes because of the green and red.
Yeah. She wins it. And then she does this promo with Trish backstage that was...
We gonna build up Trish versus her, right? Yeah.
But that promo
Tiffy
was dog shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It made zero sense. And it was just like both of them said toodles.
I'll give you that.
But
that's her stick though, too, though. Like, it was her.
Stick? Being bad at promos?
No, but...
like, is that her stick?
No, it's not...
I'm confused because
she's just like airhead beach blonde, like, could care less. I think it works to a degree. I don't know. I'm feeling it.
No, they can all kiss my ass. Because then I don't know if you, like I said, I don't know if you saw the press conference, but she went in the press conference.
Oh, I saw too. I just want to bedazzle and didn't answer anything.
Yes. I didn't watch the press conference this time.
I was just like, this was
dumb. It was a week. The press conferences where I like, okay, give us something outside of the moment in ring and the side studio. You should have gave us a little bit more there, but she didn't at all. I'll give you that one, Sean. I'll give you the press conference.
And like, don't get me wrong, I understand we got to build someone up for Bailey, and Naomi and Bailey already went at it. They're friends. It doesn't really make sense, Maybe Tiffany's that person, depending on how they build it, and I'm fine with that. But I don't know. Like I said, I felt like Chelsea Green's time could have been there.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Maybe she cashed in on the tag titles for her and Piper. You know what I mean? Like,
brilliant.
And that's like unheard of. Like something completely unheard of. I was thinking that. I was like, could they cash in on the tag titles? Like, if Chelsea wins it and she's just like, I'm going to get the tag titles back for me and Piper. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that would have been really cool, but instead they gave it to fucking Tiffy. And like I said, I think it's same thing with Austin Theory. When Austin Theory won it way too early.
Yeah.
And now things are starting to come around for Austin Theory, but there was a long lull of just Austin not being over. Right. Now, of course,
Giant Cena couldn't get him over.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Tiffy, lip fillers, boobs, everything. Of course, people are going to be cheering for her. All fucking Canada and Australia are just like, holy shit! Like, fuck everybody else. This white woman.
But this is the thing with Tiffany. This is
that looks like Trish Stratus.
Exactly. But what my issue with Tiffany is that I don't feel as though this thing is just speaking right now. We're just a few days after the end of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I don't feel as though this really elevates her. And that's the problem. There's no shine on her with it. And again, maybe they'll tell a good story after the fact. Okay.
Oh.
We got maybe months before she cashes in so they can build her character up.
Yeah.
But I think they would have had a better impact on Chelsea Green, much like you said, that thinking outside the box. And they can still do the same thing with Tiffany, building her up to main events without the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And so I feel like they could have still done that without that. And I think they missed the opportunity. I think Chelsea Green is such a fan favorite that I think there's so many people just been behind her because of that.
What's interesting is in the past few years when someone has been Money in the Bank, whatever, Mr. Mrs., it has given them the opportunity to get TV time and promo time, but not really wrestle.
Right.
Because they're being methodical because they can pick whenever they can cash in. You know what I mean? So it's like they don't have to have matches. Right? Like they can just come down and just fuck with someone like a champion. They can just come walk down the ring with a briefcase. So it's very mind game, methodical. And with Tiffy, I want to see Tiffy wrestle. Tiffy is a good wrestler. I want to see the in-ring content. If they only make her carry around the briefcase and just shove it in people's faces and do promo and not wrestle, I think that does a disservice for her.
I don't think so. I think they'll have a wrestle. Really? I think Nia Jax is going to play into this to be her enforcer and protect her.
Yeah.
So much so that eventually once she takes it, Nia Jax turns and we'll get a somewhat face Tiffany Stratton, and that'll be very interesting.
Well, that will be Nyla. It's gonna be Nia.
She'll destroy Tiff, and then she'll have the belt, and that's how Nia gets the belt back again. And then we'll get stuff. I think there's storyline there that you could write.
Well, Nia's fighting Bayley in SummerSlam because she won Queen of the Ring.
Yeah.
So
I don't think she'll win that.
What if Tiffy
cashes in? Because we also have Bad Blood that they announced in Atlanta. With Cody, and everything.
Oh my God! And fucking
there's some storyline to build out from all of that shit, bro.
Yeah. And then the Bloodline. We forgot about the Bloodline match.
So let's get to that. Well, before we get to that, I think the women's Money in the Bank was the best match of the night. I don't know, with all those spots, those women did men's spots.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the women's Money in the Bank because, man, Io's crotch hurt me.
Io
that fall down. The Zoe Stark coming down.
Yeah, man.
Bro, just those men.
Some of the scary.
I was.
And they got the tables. The crowd wanted tables. The women gave them tables. You know who didn't? The men. The men did not give them tables.
So I'm saying, bro. Cheers to the women on the fucking. I'm saying, bro. They killed it. All right, so let's head over to Bloodline. Because we gotta wind this show down. Due to timing. Cody Rhodes, KO, RKO and Cody against Bloodline. How do we feel? I don't know. I liked it, but then also I don't know. I
mean, the ending was the way it should have been.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna do too much. We're still building right now.
Yeah.
But I think we all kind of wanted to see maybe more people.
They have to make the Bloodline look strong.
Internet wanted to see Zilla come out there. And then Internet wanted to see a couple of different Tongans out there, but
that family is so fucking large.
It's gonna be insane when they all come out, bro.
Look,
but it was also Sika's funeral the same day.
Exactly. So with that being said, it was ain't none of them cast are showing up. And respect to their family, don't show up. The fact that that even the ones we got missed out on attending that, respect and you understand,
Yeah, no, it was a great match. It definitely made Jacob look great,
as it should have.
And yeah, I think it's great. The Samoan werewolf, I think that shit's
Woo!
I think that's fucking on it, man.
Can't wait to see do all of his
wolf
moves.
pack, the Samoan wolf pack. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. De facto, NWO, de facto Bloodline, wolf pack, Bloodline. It's what it is, man. I can't wait. They're cooking something, man. So I'm really excited. Oh, we also got the John Cena announcement too.
Oh yeah.
Retirement.
Kind of we knew it was happening. Yeah, and now we're just prolonging it. That was lackluster to me. We already felt like you retired. My wife was like, is this the 5th retirement? I was like, babe, you ain't lying. But you know what? It's now official, I guess.
Yeah.
He
said Bryan Danielson did this, so I have to do it too. I'm announcing my last year of full-time wrestling.
So, good way to say goodbye for the fans, I guess. We'll we'll get some dream matches right before he closes out.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That'll be interesting.
Real quick, I know we gotta close out, but motherfucking mommy's back.
Let's.
Yeah.
So I'll say this: I had a screening that night. I didn't see it, but obviously, I cannot wait to find out what went down. But go ahead, talk the vibes. I'm listening.
Bro. So Liv shit continued to happen, man. It was great. It was Liv and Dom versus Ray and Zelina, and it was something that fucking Liv cooked up, and it was just a wild, like, there was like a lot of like the Dom falling head first into Liv's crotch and like falling on top of her, and I think, didn't they win?
Yeah,
I think they won. I think Dom pinned his dad, and then Liv fell on top of him, and then they were about to kiss, and then fucking Rhea's music, "This is my brutality," and
was the pop crazy?
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear it, man.
Liv booked it. Liv was so scared. She came in that fucking ring, and fucking Dom, she looked right at Dom, looked away, and walked right past him. And I was just like, "Oh, bitch, you in the doghouse now, motherfucker." But I real quick, my thoughts. I think Liv was always doing this, planning this with JD and Finn. I think JD and Finn break away with Liv to have their faction. Damian was always for Rhea, so Damian's going to be with Rhea.
They're twins.
Yeah, and I think Dom's still going to be with them, but now they're going to be like a little hesitant with Dom, and I think inevitably Dom's going to run back to his father.
Ooh,
that'll be interesting.
That's an interesting scenario.
Like, these people don't trust me. The JD and fucking Finn left and betrayed all of us. Rhea and fucking Damian hate me. I have nowhere to turn to. LWO. Dad, I need somebody.
Interesting way to bringing him back to the dad, because we hadn't been thinking about them coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's cool,
man. That's good booking.
That'll be
good,
man. They're gotta give Dom his props, bro.
Yep.
Dom has been just done right
and perfect, and that piss, if they bring Dom in the LWO, it pisses off Zelina to where she starts working with Andrade and fucking splits away from LWO, gets with Andrade. Andrade starts feuding with either Dom or Ray.
Bruh.
It's there, baby.
There's a lot there they can do, man.
It's there, baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm feeling that. I can't wait to watch it, man. But I just, again, Dom, as much as people been giving him hate when the jump off when he came, this man has been putting in that work and building just some of the best shit, bro. I think
he had the most matches worked. Last year into this year,
outside of Cody,
bro. Props to him. You know what I mean? He's putting in the work, and I think he's just easy to hate. He's kind of like the Miz back when the Miz was a heel. He's just easy to hate. And so it's just I think the boos are getting a little less.
Dirty Dom, bro.
Yeah. And I think people are now starting to sympathize a little bit with him. Oh shit, you fucked up. You fucked up. So I can't wait to see where this goes.
All right, y'all, man. So much more I'm sure we could talk about, but because of time, we're gonna cut it short. But there you go, y'all. Another KayFabeyBaby episode. Sean, Webster Style, always a pleasure, my brothers. Let's get up out of here. Sean, what's going on with Fantasies? Talk to us about that. Let's get up out of here.
Fantasies, our 2-year anniversary as well. Over for DC Browlesque at DC Brow Brewery in DC, obviously. It's not this weekend, it's next weekend. It's the 20th. So, guys, please check us out. Have a great old time. I'm literally creating a story, like a D&D story for this show. And it includes all the performers. It includes the audience members. It's a crazy show. So please check it out if you guys want to come out. Just look up Fanta Tees on Eventbrite and you'll find us. Or you can follow us at the Nerdlesque Fest on IG and Twitter and Facebook.
There you go. I love that. All right. And my man, Webster Style, Sartorial Geek. You've been putting in that work, brother. What do you got going on?
One of those weeks has been a lot going on. Episode 182 of the podcast is out talking about Beverly Hills Cop 4. As well as a couple of games that are coming out now and in the future, which I was surprised about. Got an interview that just dropped today with Justin Koch, who is the creator of SWAT Eldritch Blue comic book that's currently in crowdfunding. And then as of this recording on on Thursday, the latest episode of Ren's Playtime Corner drops. We recorded that, just talking about sort of perceptions and optics of how we present ourselves online. That drops Thursday. Friday, my interview with adult star Anna Cummings drops. And that's it for now, but I'll probably be more before the weekend's out.
There you go, putting in that work. Both of my boys, man. Shout out to Sean Mongo. Shout out to Webster Style. Love to see it, man. Again, all their links are going to be in the description below. Go shoot them some love, follow, subscribes, all the things. It's your boy Kuya P. You're on the NRW, Nerds Rule the World Squad. Hit me up. We got everything coming on, man. But that's been another KayFabeyBaby episode. We are the NRW Ring Generals. Let's get up out of here in a 1, 2, 3. Peace, y'all.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, and you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning.
I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no, that's interesting.
Boy, I'm coming hard.